of our 12th Imam, the Imam of all the Muslimin and the Imam of the whole world. Whether we recognize him or we don't, he is our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will talk briefly about him towards the end of our talk, inshallah. But for the first part, what I want to bring forth and discuss with you, respected and wonderful brothers and sisters who are in this beautiful masjid. You know, I have had the privilege and the honor of being with you brothers and sisters only a few times, and this is such a wonderful, because I'm used to going to much bigger mosques and masjids and being in those centers for the talks that everybody's kind to invite me. But this is such a beautiful gathering of you wonderful brothers and sisters in such a beautiful place, though it's small, but it's very sweet and wonderful, full of spirit and soul. So tonight what I wanted to do was first, inshallah, to talk about the subject. And this subject has to do with Imam Zaman. What I want to do is see, for us Muslims, for us, whether we are followers of the Ahlul Sunnah or followers of the Ahlul Bayt, we are all much more in common as to being Muslims, worshippers of the one God and true followers of Rasulullah. So what I wanted to do was take a quality of the Imams, of Imam al-Zaman especially, and talk about that quality, because we are to emulate them, my younger brothers and sisters. We are to be like them. They are great. They are amazing, these individuals. But they are there for us to emulate and inshallah to walk their path. So the quality that I wanted to take tonight from them is the quality that I wanted to discuss with you. But first I will start with this, inshallah. I will start with the problem, because like I was sharing with my brothers and sisters before, I come from a very scientific background, so I always focus first on the problem. What is the problem? So here we are. So many of you have lived, some of you born in America, the younger brothers and sisters, many of you have lived here a long time. I have lived most of my life in America, though I come from a very, from a Muslim country back in the Middle East. But here's the deal. What I have seen in the decades that I have been with my younger brothers and sisters, trying to help do my share in talking about our beautiful religion, one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of our youth especially, and as even our elders, and not even here, but in the general communities, and what we hear is this quality that is developing in people, and this is the quality of shak, of doubt. So this doubt is what I wanted to talk about tonight. But first of all, what is doubt? What is the shak? Shak is basically when you're not sure about something, right? When you don't have the conviction or the certainty in a principle. So let's start with ourselves, right? And we hear this a lot. So if we look at ourselves as a person, if we doubt ourselves, right? If we doubt our abilities to be able to accomplish goals, high goals in life, which a lot of us, including myself as a parent, we want our kids to grow up having very high goals in life. Nobody wants their kids, right? No parent wants their kids to have low goals. Oh, whether it's for their career or for their accomplishment, any type of goal for their person. So the first type of doubt that sets in is doubts about yourselves or ourselves and our abilities. What's another kind of doubt? This is the doubt about the goodness of other people. No wonder why it is so stressed in religion not to say negative things about others, because that brings doubt about the goodness of other people. What is another kind of doubt? It is a doubt about our religion, our beautiful and powerful religion of Islam, which is the religion of all the prophets, all the messengers, all the noble ladies. So people have doubt about Islam. Is Islam a real religion? What about Christianity? 70% of the people living in America identify themselves with Christianity. Maybe that's the right religion. And believe me, when I was here, growing up, since I was in college, I associated a lot with Christians. They would come and preach to me. Believe in Jesus. He is your Savior. We see this. So it leads you to the path of investigation, reading the Bible, reading what they have to say, being open to them. So we start doubting Islam. Is Islam the true religion? Then we start doubting God. Even some people, my roommate in college asked me this. I was in the second week or third week of college roommating with him when I had come from Kuwait, where I grew up. I came to Charlottesville, there in college, in Virginia. I had my roommate on the football team. He was an atheist, he told me. And he said, "Can I ask you a question, Hamed?" That was his accent. So I said, "Sure." He said, "This Jainamaz, this prayer mat that you have and pray to this God, how do you know that this God exists?" Oh, now I was only 18 and I come from a very Muslim background, like so many of us here. So I said, "You know what? It's in my blood. I can't explain it to you." And that led me, actually, that question, to the path of investigating and reading and learning, and here we are decades later. But this is the thing, that people question God, the existence of God. Some Muslims question, and they become atheists, and I know Muslims who have become atheists. Question the Holy Prophet's character. Question the Imam Zaman. How can he be Allah? So all these questions about faith. What's a fourth type? A fourth type is questioning the purpose of life. How many people question this? Why are we here? Why did God have to create us? Why couldn't just God create us in heaven and leave us there? Why do we have to face all this hardship in living 21st century America, USA, or worse, in so many other countries around the world? So questions about the purpose and the goal of life. Another doubt we have is doubt about, well, we already included that, God. And this idea, whether God exists and how can we prove God, I have been on this track for decades. And a lot of the answers that I receive are so insufficient. And I had a session in this community. I'm not sure if everybody, tonight is a large gathering, mashallah, but in that gathering, if people were there, and I tried to prove the existence of God. And inshallah, we will go over that very simply. It's not philosophical, like it's not all these other theories. It's a very simple, concrete proof, but inshallah, we can have that session in the future. So these are the doubts that people have, from personal to other people, to religion, to God. Okay, now let me talk to you about the harms of doubt. What is this doubt? There was a brother, elder than me. He was the leader of one of the communities back in Virginia. This conversation happened about 15 years ago. We were sitting in the masjid, and you know what this brother said to me? He said, "What's wrong with doubt? It's okay to doubt. So we all have doubts, and let's continue to doubt." If doubts seep in us, and if we have doubts, that's fine, as long as we go towards trying to resolve those doubts. But what are the harms if we remain in doubt and we're not sure? We're not sure about our Imam Zaman, about Allah, about the Quran, about the Prophet. We have doubts and doubts and doubts and doubt. It's going to eat us up. Doubt is like a fire in a forest. It will destroy our faiths. And that's why there are Muslims that leave Islam, because they have not resolved their doubts. Okay, so doubts, first of all, on the personal level, it weakens our willpowers. We don't have the strength to pursue our goals, leads to procrastination, opens us to incredible amounts of regrets and self-pity, kills our personal growth, and hinders our creativity, so on and so on and so on. On a social level, it destroys the trust that we can have in people, and hence our relationships suffer and lead us to isolation and eventually loneliness when we don't have trust in others. Then there are doubts, of course, about God. What is the harm in that when we doubt God and religion? That actually, in the beginning, and the most important thing, it destroys our will to develop a relationship, to recognize the Creator. And secondly, what it does is those type of doubts, they destroy our resolve to act and fulfill the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our goal then is to distinguish, to completely extinguish, put the fire of doubt out and move towards what? Certainty. MashaAllah. One last salawat to the love of Ahlul Bayt. You named it. So we moved from doubt to certainty at the other end. So this certainty is called what in the Quran? Yaqeen. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, sisters. Yaqeen is the central concept of tonight. This is the quality of Imam al-Zaman. This is the quality of all the Imams, of the Ahlul Bayt, of the noble ladies. This is what we should be striving for. Okay, so what is yaqeen? Yaqeen is certainty, conviction, 100% in the truth of something. Whether it's a concept, whether it's a being, whether it's an event, something that has happened and you have full yaqeen in it. So now you say, tell us more about yaqeen. What is yaqeen? We have to go to the last revelation. The Quran names 3 types of yaqeen. In Surah 102, Takathur, verse 5, Allah names it ilm al-yaqeen. Kalla law ta'alamuna ilm al-yaqeen latarawunna al-jahim. So this type of yaqeen is called yaqeen of ilm, certainty based on knowledge. So it is like this, okay? Let's say there is a fire down the street here, okay? And because I was driving and you guys were here, I come here and I tell you, respected sisters and brothers, that there is a fire down the road. Now, you haven't seen the fire, but because you trust me, you believe, yes, there is a fire. Okay, so this is knowledge for you, and you trust me, you trust the bearer of the news. Rasulullah came and told people that God exists. All the prophets did it. So because they trusted him, they believed him. So this is one level of knowledge, one level of certainty, ilmul yaqeen. Then Allah says, and goes on, same surah, verse number 6, ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّ عَيْنَ الْيَقِينَ. عَيْنَ الْيَقِينَ is the yaqeen, the certainty based on vision. Now, if I say to you, brothers and sisters, can you please walk with me outside and I will show you the fire. When you go there outside and you see the fire with your eyes, then your conviction goes higher. Not that you didn't trust me. You knew there based on knowledge, based on book knowledge or person knowledge who gives you, right? You go to college, you go to classes, you listen to your instructor, you trust them knowing the information because they have done their work. Or the prophets based on their sincerity, al-amin, right? Or the imams based on the tests that they have given and their characters. But then when you see it, when you see the fire, that's a different level. You say, yes, the fire exists. And then there is a third level, a higher level, the highest level of yaqeen. And Allah says this in chapter 56, verse number 95. What does Allah say? Look at this. Look, this is the God that is so merciful and compassionate. He tells us what are the levels. What are the levels of certainty that we want in life to eliminate doubts. Doubts are killing us. Doubts are killing people's faith in America, everywhere around the world. And what does Allah says? Inna hada lahuwa haqqul yaqeen. Thank you, brother. Haqqul yaqeen. Haqqul yaqeen is yaqeen based on haqq, truth. And what the mufassirs, what the scholars tell us, this is based on experience, experiential knowledge. Now what do? I say, my sisters, and my brothers, you have now seen the fire. Now go close to it and put your hand in it. Then you experience the fire. What level of certainty is that? That's being extinguished in the fire. It's at the greatest degree, right? So those are the levels of certainty. That is when the urafa, when the imams, when the Ahlul Bayt, when the noble ladies, you know, when they say that Imam Ali used to pray and the companions of Imam Ali used to come to the door of Hazrat Bibi Zahra and they say, we want to speak to our Imam, and Hazrat Zahra would say that Ali is praying in the Nakhlistan, right? He's praying in the date orchard. Go and see him there. When they would come and see him, Imam Ali would be fainting. He is burning in the love of Allah. He is burning in the presence of God. He is at that level of yaqeen. You know, when the Holy Prophet, somebody came to him, one of the companions, and said, what is this yaqeen thing? Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, used to walk on water. What is his level of yaqeen? And you know what Rasulullah said? That if Jesus alayhi salam, as high as he is in the eyes of Allah, his yaqeen, but if his yaqeen was any higher, instead of walking on water, he would be walking on air. Allahu Akbar. These are the levels, and we see that Imam Ali would be extinguished in prayer. He would faint. When that companion came and saw the Imam, they came back to the house. They knocked on the door. They said, "Ya Hazrat Bibi Fatima, Imam Ali has died. He's gone." He said, "No, he hasn't died. This happens to him all the time." Wallah salawat for the love of Imam Zaman. Now, brothers and sisters, you may ask me, okay, now that we understand that in the different levels, what is the value? What is the value of yaqeen? Why should I pursue it? I'm in America. I do things where I get benefit from, you know? What's in it for me? Okay, Islam has the answer for us. God has given us. The Ahlul Bayt have told us. So what are the benefits? On a personal level, the higher our level of certainty of yaqeen is, the more we will feel confident about ourselves and about us being able to accomplish that goal stand before us. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't become this. Oh, I am not able to, do all these prayers. Oh, I'm not able to do this. Oh, I'm not able. But when we have faith and certainty, higher levels of faith in ourselves, we will run towards our goals, and our goals diminish, and we can do much higher things. That is why a lot of people can't accomplish as much as the potential that they have. You will also be able to believe that you can overcome your past. The past was challenging. We all have had difficulties. But when we have yaqeen and higher levels of faith, we will know that we can overcome our past. And we have ethnicities and communities who have experienced a lot of hardship back home, or whether those who have been brought to America, they have experienced a lot of hardship in their communities. And they can overcome the past with their yaqeen. And number 3, when you believe in the social sphere that people are essentially good, that then you will seek people's assistance and people's help, and knowing and understanding that they will support you. On a spiritual level, and this is my focus, because the spirit takes over matter, right? So here, what are the benefits on a spiritual level? One last salawat again for the love of Allah. What yaqeen does for us, brothers and sisters, it infuses joy in all our actions. when we know that, that we are fulfilling a much higher purpose in life, when we have resolved to ourselves and we have yaqeen, then what happens is all our actions are filled with the spirit and with the soul of joy. Can I give you an example? Can I give you an example? You know what Rasulullah said about something as so easy as prayers? He said that salat is qurratu aini fi salat. That salat, this prayer that is only a few minutes, but because he was at those levels, he got joy from salat. He said that salat is light to my eyes. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. What does he mean by this? A world to be said about it. But let's go to point number 2. Yaqeen gives us tranquility, calmness, poise, wiqar. You know? How Imam Sadiq alayhi salam has said, he has said this beautiful thing. He has said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His justice and fairness, God has placed tranquility and ease in certainty and contentment. إن الله بعدله وقسطه جعل الروح والراحة في اليقين والرضا. في اليقين والرضا. Yaqeen in conviction and rida in contentment. Imam Rida. Imam Rida. وجعل الهم والحزن في الشك والسخط. And has placed sorrow and grief in doubt. We started with doubt, right? So whenever we feel sorrow, some sorrow and grief, know that we have to work on raising our levels of yaqeen. So the Imam says he has placed sorrow and grief in doubt and discontentment. You get it, right, brothers and sisters? How powerful. These are psychology, these are spirituality of the Ahlul Bayt, how they explain matters. And this is just a few things. We have books of this stuff. This is why we love the Ahlul Bayt, because we follow them to understand the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And number 3, number 3, yaqeen is the highest level of faith. How do we know this? Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam has said, قال الإمام الصادق عليه السلام إن الإيمان أفضل من الإسلام وإن اليقين أفضل من الإيمان وما من شيء أعز من اليقين. Allahu Akbar. Look at the beautiful words of Imam Sadiq. This is why we are lovers of this school of thought. Because Imam Sadiq said such amazing words, and his knowledge all comes from Rasulullah. He says this. He says faith is better than submission, than Islam. Because the Quran says, right, there was a group of Bedouin Arabs that came to Rasulullah and said that we, Ya Rasulullah, have Iman. And Allah revealed the verse and said, Ya Rasulullah, tell them that Iman has not entered their hearts. They are just Muslim. This is what the Imam is referring to and explicating this, expounding on this, that there is Muslim, yes, a lot of Muslims, then there is mu'min, fewer, and there is muttaqis, those who have yaqeen, at a few, even fewer. Allahu Akbar. May we be of the muttaqeen, insha'Allah, insha'Allah, insha'Allah. And as a matter of fact, the Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, whose school we follow, he says this, and this is, I dug this out of Misbah al-Sharia, which has been translated, a very small book, and you might have it here. In English, it's the Lantern of the Path, and in that the Imam says this. He says, Yaqeen will take you through all the sublime states of Iman and marvelous spiritual stations. Allahu Akbar. He says, yaqeen will take you. It's a journey. It's a journey of a lifetime. You might get there sooner. Inshallah. We are there, and if we are not there, then we pray to Allah to be there. One loud salawat, inshallah. Now that, brothers, we have talked about doubt and we have talked about yaqeen and how are we to traverse this path. So your question is, okay, so you've been patiently listening, right, to this humble brother of yours. So you ask, so how to attain certainty? While that's a huge topic, I have summarized it and I've worked with this a lot, like over the years. So inshallah, this will be beneficial. Okay, so here is the secret. The secret of how to attain certainty and yaqeen is given to us, pardon me, by none other than our beloved, compassionate, merciful Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who says in the Holy Quran, in the last revelation for mankind, He says this, in Surah Al-Hijr, chapter 15, verse number 99. Look at this. There's so much tafsir to this and I'll briefly touch upon it. He says this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the glorified and exalted, says this, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Translation, worship your sustainer till you are given or till you achieve yaqeen. Allahu Akbar. What does he mean by this? What does he mean by this? So the secret key of attaining yaqeen is worship. But the question now you may ask, come on, you gotta be asking this question, right? I can read your minds. What is yaqeen? What is worship? If this is the way to yaqeen, the way is worship, but what is worship? Oh my goodness, then we get into this topic. So worship, my brothers and sisters, as you know this, worship is two things, belief and action. Amanu wa amilu salihat, right? These two combine to make worship. We cannot say that I believe, but I don't pray because my heart is clean. No, it doesn't work that way. Allah says Himself, Amanu wa amilu salihat. Always in the Quran, wherever we see belief, beside it we see action. In the teachings, even in schools, aqaid and furu'id din, right? There is always these two aspects. Okay, so what is belief? Belief is the pursuit of knowing. Without knowledge, we cannot get there. But knowledge is not sufficient. It is also analysis, analytical thinking, reasoning. And it is also asking, dua. We'll go into it. And the second aspect is action. We have to act, right? Act means what? Means fulfilling the responsibilities we have towards ourselves, towards me, myself, my limbs. I have a responsibility towards my eyes, my ears, my limbs. Myself towards other people around, my family, the community, the world. Muslim or non-Muslim, the ummah, everyone. I have a responsibility. Fulfilling that and the responsibility towards the Creator. So in short, ibadah, worship, is all the thoughts, all the words, and all the actions that we do for the sake of Allah. You brothers and sisters are doing a fundraising tonight. Because you are doing it for, you're not praying, that's not prayer, you're doing fundraising. But because you are doing it for Allah, that's worship. So here we go. So the first and foremost thing for worship is what? Is thinking, contemplating on the central questions of existence, like who are you? This is a question that I have for you, brothers and sisters. One of you told me, engage the audience. I love engaging my brothers and sisters in a conversation. I would rather we sometimes sit and talk. So I want to ask you the question, who are you? Does anybody want to take a guess or raise your hand and volunteer? It's a very, very difficult question. Who are you? Anyone?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? Sorry.
The question is, who are you? Who are you?
I'm a human.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are many answers. Depends. If you want to ask me what species, I would say I'm a human. If you ask me who are you, where are you coming from, or who are you based on religion, I would say I'm Muslim. If you ask my name, I would say my name is Jafar.
Right.
So it depends on the question. There could be 1,000 answers for this question.
Excellent, excellent. But a lot of times when you and I ask somebody, who are you? They'll say their name, right? But this name was given to you by someone else. Or they might say, like you said, rightfully so, brother, that they might say, I am from Pakistan. I am from Afghanistan. I am from Iran. I am from Iraq. But these were all labels that they gave us.
But we can say I am
Who
Abdullah, for example.
Excellent, excellent, brother. Who are you? Okay, here's a hint. And can I give you, brothers and sisters, a homework for next time when we see each other? Think about this. Who are you? And write whatever comes to your mind. And eventually you will peel these layers. But let me give you a hint. We are all from the same country. Because a lot of times, like we think of a country that we're from, we're all from the same place. Okay, let me move further because of lack of time. Why are you here? This is the second question. Why are you here? Why? This is homework, brothers and sisters. Just because I may be younger than some of you, doesn't mean that I can't give you homework. Okay. Why are you here? Now you might say, here? No, bigger. Why are you here on earth? Why were you created? You're unique. You're special. Do you think God didn't have anything better to do, so He made another one of us? No, you all know that can't be true. He created you special. You're unique, down to your fingerprint. There's something so special about you. Why are you here? Third question, where are you going? Oh my goodness, brother, I thought you'd stop at 2. I'm giving you a third homework. Where are you going? Brothers and sisters, if you find your answers to these 3 critical, central, existential questions, you will have transformed your life. Your life will completely not be the same. I guarantee you that, 100%. 100%. Your life will never be the same if you really come to the answer for yourself. But you have to search. It's not going to be a 5-minute thing. But please, can you start the homework? Okay, wait. I want a commitment. Who can raise their hand and commit to me that they will at least start this? And maybe the next time that we see each other, we can share it, you know? Yeah?
Everyone, yes.
Who are you? Right? Where are you from? And where are you going? If you can really peel to the depths of these questions, brothers and sisters, you know, let me quote you a story. I know this is from another religion. And I'll come back and refer back to our religion. But have you heard of this personality, this sage from the Hindu religion called Ram? Some of you may have. And I try to study in my own humble way other religions, and there was a day that Ram, who lived thousands of years, and he's one of the gods of Hinduism. He was human. They made him into God, just like our Christian brothers and sisters have made Jesus into a God. This is not new, like in human. history. But Ram went knocking on the door of his teacher. When he knocked on the door, the teacher heard the knock and said, "Who is it?" You know what Ram said? He said that is what I have come to find out. Wow. Fast forward a few thousand years. Rasulullah, the greatest messenger of humankind. What does he say? Chi gufti Payghambar ma. What did he say? He said this. He said, "Man arafa nafsa, arafa rabba." Allahu Akbar. These questions pertain to what Rasulullah wants us to do. He says, the one who knows themselves. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? Will know their Lord. Wow! Profound philosophy, psychology, everything. The one who knows themselves knows their Lord. Allahu Akbar. One last salawat for the love of the Holy Prophet.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Oh, we're always running out of time, aren't we? Okay. So I will wrap it up, and I only have just a little more for you. So this is the type of thinking that we are to be doing. You know what Rasulullah mentioned about this type of thinking? It is this type of thinking when we use the great gift of the intellect. You know, Usul al-Kafi, our great hadith books, the major portions are always about the intellect, al-aql, using the mind that God has given us. And the Quran constantly says that this book is for people who think, who question, who don't remain in doubt, they go towards uncertainty, but thinking. So this quality of thinking is what, you know what Rasulullah said about it? He says, thinking for 1 hour is worth 70 years of ritual worship without thinking. Fikr kardan, tafakkur. Thinking, contemplating about the questions of who are we? Where are we? Look at the universe, all everything created. We talked about it last time. God has created billions upon trillions of stars. For whom? And let's move forward. So once our hearts are infused with the soul of belief, right belief, coming through our thinking, then we go to furu'a, to actions, right? And these actions are called furu'a. So actions is prayers, is saum, fasting, zakat, khums, hajj, jihad, struggle against the nafs, amr bil ma'roof, nahi anil munkar, tawalla, all these different things. These are actions that will strengthen our faith and take us to yaqeen. Okay. And then third thing is what? Third thing is worship is also about eliminating the vices in our characters. Sifat razila. Which are, you know, whenever we have to constantly, the ulama, the urafa tell us that we have to on a regular basis account for our actions. What have we done? Where have we made mistakes? And link it back to the sifat razila, the vices, such as we might have arrogance, backbiting, fear that we talked about last time, greed, heedlessness, hypocrisy, jealousy, love of the world, prejudice. A lot of our scholars have talked about this, right? Ayatollah Khomeini, one of our great scholars, has talked about this in the 40 hadiths, he mentions one after the other of these vices. He was a deeply spiritual man, though politics, some people may agree or not agree with him. We'll set the politics aside, but if you list the top scholars in the last few decades, he's one of them, whether some people may disagree with him on the politics or not. But he's not the only one. A lot of our scholars talk about this. But the point is what? That there are sifat razila. the vices that we are to look at. But look at this. This verse that I quoted you initially, right? This verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that we will reach yaqeen from actually وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Some scholars and some of the tafasir say that this verse also means that you continue worship Allah till you reach death. One level is the physical death. For those Imam, one of our Imams, and I believe it was Imam Rida, who said that unfortunately some people will never reach the level of yaqeen. But the verse tells us with death, all the veils will be lifted, right? And we will see and experience the other life, and that's when we will get yaqeen. But look at this, another layer of the tafsir of this same verse says you do not have to wait till you die. You can pursue it here with these steps that we talked about, and we can get to that level of yaqeen by killing. Which death is this? This is the death of the nafs. And so we are to pursue the sifat fazila, which are the virtues such as courage, forgiveness, kindness, generosity, gratitude, honesty, justice and truth-seeking, optimism, purity, respect, sincerity, and on and on and on and on and on. So, and finally, I want to say this. Brothers and sisters, worship is also reaching out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reaching out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reaching out to God is dua. When we ask God, and for that I will just quote you that Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, this beautiful member of the Ahlul Bayt, after he would actually extend his devotions after Salat al-Maghrib, and he would sit there for a long time, and you know what he would ask God? He would ask God for yaqeen, even higher levels of yaqeen. So one loud salawat inshallah. Okay, now that I've given you the homework, brothers and sisters, so let's end this inshallah with just stating a very simple thing about Imam Zaman, to get ourselves to have more yaqeen for our living Imam. The question often happens is this, okay? A lot of people ask the question that Imam Zaman, how can, and I was asked this question when I was in college by one Palestinian brother who was Ahl Sunnah. He says, you know, I really like you Shias. I really like your faith and what you're doing and all the things that I hear in the news. Everything is well and good. But I have one problem. I said, so what is that? He said, you believe in a Imam Zaman who is living, who was born 1,000 and some years ago and is still living. This is very problematic for me. Of course, there's so much explanation one can give. But here's the thing. This is a question that still happens in so many of our youth. Everyone asks this question. How is the Imam Zaman still living? How is this possible? And also, how is it that we believe in 12 Imams? What about the Seveners, you know? The Ismailis? What about the Fourers, the Zaydis? They're also Shia. They're also, how come 4 and Seveners and you guys are 12? How do we know? You know, how do we know? We're in doubt, right? Some of us. So here is, just briefly, 2 minutes. 1. Rasulullah said, and this I'm quoting from the Ahl Sunnah books, not from the Shia books. In Sahih Bukhari, in Sahih Muslim, and many others, Rasulullah said that after me, there will be 12. There will be 12 leaders, Imams. They will be my successors. These words are mentioned in different forms in the Ahl Sunnah most authentic books. So 12. Not all the numbers of the Abbasid caliphs or the 4 Khulafa Rashidun, and even if you take the others, it's 6 and 7. Not 40 and 50, 70. Not other khulafa, 6. No, he numbered 12. And he also said, just as there were 12 tribes of Hazrat Musa. Okay, this is one. Now, are you guys ready for this one? Rasulullah has said, and this is also quoted, and I'm quoting, this shows in the Musnad of Hanbal and in Sahih Muslim. These are the 6 most authentic books of our Ahlul Sunnah brothers and sisters. And I'm quoting from their books. Rasulullah said this. This is a hadith from him. He says, one who dies without allegiance or recognition of the Imam of his time, he will have died the death of a jahili. So if you put these two together, there are 12 Imams, and the Imam of the time is alive then, because you have to recognize him and pay allegiance to him. So therefore, the 12th Imam was born, and he is still alive. One last salawat, inshallah. So let's make a dua, inshallah, and then for those brothers and sisters who want to stay for the Farsi, we can do that for about 10 minutes, a summation, not a 45-minute talk there, but just a summation, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, ya Allah, ya Allah. We are here today in this beautiful masjid, ya Allah, to remember you through your Ahlul Bayt, through your 12th Imam and guide that you have given us. Ya Allah, we ask you by your might, by your power, by your love, by your beneficence, Ya Allah, you give us the certainty, the yaqeen of Iman. Ya Allah, we ask you, Ya Allah, to hasten the reappearance of our 12th Imam. Ya Allah, we ask you to cure our sick. Ya Allah, to bless our deceased. Ya Allah, we ask you to bring, Ya Allah, peace, health, success to the oppressed, persecuted, subjugated people of the world, wherever the cries of the destitute can be heard. Ya Allah, we ask you to strengthen the faith of our youth and to protect them from the evils of society. Ya Allah, we ask you to make us successful in the way that you define success. Ya Allah, we ask you for help. Ya Allah, help us bring unity, peace and love to our ummah and to the world. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
خب به این بخش کیا دوست دارن که برای فارسی یک چند دقیقه بشینن؟ دستایتان رو میتونین که بالا کنین اگه میخواین برای برنامه فارسی. اگه دیر شده میخوایم که بریم تمامش کنیم، هر رقمی که دوستا خودشان بگیرن. فارسی اینجا یکی از برادرها میخواین که فارسی، خانما همه. خب برادرها بس لازم نیست که بشینن. So most of the brothers don't want Farsi, so they can leave if they want to.
We still have.
But you can stay.
We still have 2 more small programs.
Two more
After.
small programs? Oh, okay.
After
Before.
you.
Okay. That wasn't the case before, so pardon me for the judgment that we need to go. خب عرض سلام دارم خدمت شما دوستان عزیز. صحبت امشب در رابطه با مضمون یقین کردیم که یقین خودش چی هست و چقدر لازم است برای از اینکه ما به زندگی موفق باشیم. چند صحبت شد و این انشالله من خلاصش میکنم چون برنامه دیگه طولانی میشه. ما امام زمان خدا چون دوست داریم و واقعا پیروش هستیم. یکی از کارهایی که ما باید انجام بدیم اینمی می باشه که ما از صفات اهل بیت ما چی میتونیم یاد بگیریم و کوشش کنیم راهی که اونا رفتن ما هم بریم. تنها این نباشه که ما اونا را تمجید کنیم و فرزن دوستشان داریم و این اظهار علاقه کنیم، بلکه راهشان بریم. و به اینجا صفت یقین میآید که یقین ما امشب مضمون امشب خود ساختیم. شروع میکنیم سر صحبت شک که خود شک یک چیز بسیار منفی و خراب است به جامعه که ما امروز جوانان ما را که به هر جایی که میبینیم، چی به این شورا باشه، چی به جای دیگه که میشنه آدم، چی به اینترنت که میبینه، مسلمان جوانی که به آمریکا بزرگ میشه و کلان میشه. من خودم اینجا تقریبا 35 سال است که 18 ساله بودم که آمریکا آمدم و تقریبا بعضی از این مراحل که جوانای ما تیر میکنه ای که دین ما را چطور ثابت کنم بر خود بر دیگرها تیر کردم ایره. و به شروع شما پدر مادرای عزیز و ارجمند علاقیتان ایست و تمام هدفتان ایست که اولاد خوب بزرگ کنیم به این کشور آمریکا چیزی که گفته میشه ایست که یک مانند یک چیز سلاطه واریست، کلگی میای اینجا گدوت میشه و خاصیت‌های یکی دیگر رو میگیره و این شک و تردید و بر دین و بر خدا و بر خود حتی شخص طرف زیاد شده. جوانان رو زیاد دیدم که منحرف شدن از خدا و دین و عقاید دیگه. به این صحبت میشه که ما چی میتونیم کده بر از این که یقین جوانای خود ما بیشتر بسازیم. چیزی که هست خود یقین اون پروردگار تبارک تعالی میفرمایند با خود قرآن کریم که 3 بخش داره. یک بخش یقین یا یک مرحلهش که بگیم که مرحله اول میشه علم یقین است، یعنی یک چیزی رو میشنویم. چون شما وقتی برای جوانی که میفرمایین که خدا یکیست، پیغمبرش فرزند حضرت محمد صلی الله علیه و سلم است، فرزند ما اهل بیت داریم، ما قرآن داریم، این چیزا رو میشنوه. آیا باور میکنن؟ باورشون اگه شما رو دوست داره و واقعا احترامتون داره، اون موقع کم باورشون میشه. یقینشان به مرحله بسیار پایان است. اینو میگن علم الیقین. پروردگار میگه که علمش از شما پیدا میکنه. یکی است که پروردگار میگه عین الیقین، وقتی که میبینن خودشان، وقتی که تماشا میکنن. مثل عزیز که فرزند آتش باشه با بیرون اینجا با سرک دیگه، من چون دیده باشمش شما به اینجا باشین، من که آمدم او رو دیدم خدمت شما مرز کردم که یک آتش است. چون شما به من باور دارین اونمو قدر باور پیدا میکنین که میگن بله و اونجا یک آتش، چون برادر ما گفت ما پس هست. اینا من شما رو ببرم این به اون کوچه و او رو تماشا کنیم و ببینیم که چشم ظاهریتان عقیدتان بالاتر میشه، میبینین که آتش است اونجا و امو یقینتان بالاتر میره. اینانه اگه من دستتان ما بین آتش بانم او وقت دیگه بیخی یقینتان بالا میره، یعنی واقعا باورتان میشه که این یک آتش لمبه‌دار واقعی است دیگه. اینی مراحل یقین است. اینانه ما چطور این مراحل عبور کنیم و چیزی که هست که خود اهمیت یقین چرا اینقدر لازم است، یعنی لزوم یقین چیست؟ یقین اینقدر مهم است، سرش اینقدر صحبت شده از اهل بیت که توصیه شده که ما باید دنبال کنیم یقین. یکی از فوایدش که اینجا خدمت شما دوستان که نرس کنم ایست که امام صادق علیه السلام میفرمایند که آرامش، وقتی کسی که یقین داشته باشه آرامش به دلش میاد، آرامش می داشته باشه چون یقین داره که خدای هست، کلامش کلام آخر و بر حق است. روز جزا هست، بهشت و دوزخ هست، اینا کلشان واقعیت داره. یقین بر آدم آرامش و رضایت میاره و چیز میاره بر آدم. کسی که یقین نداشته باشه، یعنی با شک باشه، همیشه با حزن می باشه و ناراحتی می باشه، خوش نمی باشه. یعنی یکی از اهمیت‌هایش است که ما به ما گفتن و مراحل یقین هم خود گفتن که فرمودن که ایمان اولین درجه است، قبل از اسلام است، بعد از او ایمان است و بعد از او تقوا است. خب اینال به اینجا سوال میشه که چطور ما بتانیم از مرحله شک و تردید به دین و خدا و قرآن و پیغمبر و آیین ما که بعضی جوان‌ها داره و بعضیا سوال میکنن و سر از این صحبت هاست و اینترنت ماشاءالله پر است از این گپا، چطور ما از این مرحله شک جوانای خود، نسل خود ببریم به مرحله یقین. خود خداوند به سوره هجر آیه 99 کلیدش برای ما میفرماید. چی میفرماید؟ وعبد ربک حتی یأتیک الیقین. خداوند عبادت کنین تا وقتی که یقین برای شما حاصل شود، داده شود. خب این عبادت چی است؟ عبادت یک بخش عقاید است. این چیزی که ما با فکر میتونیم حاصل کنیم، با قلب میتونیم حاصل کنیم. از طریق علم ما میخوانیم، گوش میکنیم، تدبر میکنیم، فکر میکنیم، استدلال میکنیم و بالاخره دعا میکنیم که خدای ما را ایمان بده. اینال بخش دوم عبادت چی است؟ بخش دومش عمل است دیگه، که تمام فروع و اون جمعه که فروع دین، نماز خواندن، اگر این بخش دوم است، یعنی بدون یکی دیگه خود نمیشه. چون پروردگار میفرمایند که انسان باید هم عمل صالح داشته باشه و هم آمنو و عمل صالحات، که هم ایمان داشته باشیم و هم عمل صالح. فرو چی میگه؟ نماز بخوانیم، روزه بگیریم، زکات بدیم، خمس بدیم، جهاد انجام بدیم، امر به معروف کنیم، نهی از منکر کنیم، تولا و تبارک، کل اینا که مفصلا باید سرش صحبت شود. اما این دو بخش تمام اعمال و فکر و زبان ما اگه برای رضایت پروردگار باشه، این میشه عبادت. تنها این نیست که نماز خواندن و هدف نماز خواندن نیست، هدف خداست. این ما فراموش باید نکنیم که هدف نماز و روزه و اینا نیست، اینا باید انجام داده شد که ما به خدا برسیم. دیگه اولین کاری که ما باید انجام بدیم برای از اینکه به عبادت برسیم و برای از اینکه یقین حاصل شود، است که ما باید تفکر انجام بدیم، فکر کنیم. بچی من 3 کارخانگی دادم برای دوستای ما که متوجه شده. یکی که شما کی هستین. بسیار وقتا وقتی سوال میشه که شما کی هستین، مردم فکر میکنن خب من از پاکستان هستم، من از افغانستان هستم، من از ایران هستم، من از عراق هستم، یا من نامم نیست. نه، اینا رو به ما گفتن 300-400 سال پیش نبودن، دیگه نام داشتن. 5-6 سال پیش، 1000 سال پیش دیگه نام. این نیست. شما پس باید ما فکر کنیم که ما کی هستیم. من کی هستم من؟ و برای از اینکه یک کمک کرده باشم به جناب شما، ایست که ما کل ما از یک جای هستیم، از یک جای هستیم، یک کشور هستیم، یک ملت هستیم. و دیگه سوال دوم که چرا ما اینجا هستیم؟ چرا آمده ایم اینجا؟ برای چی هستیم به این دنیا؟ این زندگی چی معنا داره؟ این کلش رنج و غم و من کلگی رو میبینم به تلاش و به جنجال و به سختی ها و چی ما مردم افغان، چی مردم ایران که رفتم دیدم مردم با مشکلات، چی پاکستان، چی عراق، چی هر جایی که من میرم، چی سوریه، شما ببینید، چی آمریکایا، چی اونا چقدر مشکلات دارن. هر چی که این مشکلات آخر میبینم فکر که خداوند تبارک تعالی با می حکمتش، با می زیباییش، با می محبتش که پر از عشق است، وجود پر از عشق است، چرا اصلا ما رو خلق کرد؟ چرا ما آمدیم اینجا؟ سوال دوم، چرا ما هستیم؟ هدف زندگی چی است؟ و سوم کجا میریم؟ اگر ما این سه سوال جواب داده بتونیم، زندگی ما کاملا تغییر میکنه. کاملا. این سه تا سوال کلیدی است که من خدمت شما دوستا ما امشب عرض کردیم. و اینه تو تفکره، یعنی فکر سر این چیزا رو پیغمبر اکرم میگن، بفرمایند که 1 ساعت این رقم فکر کردن مساوی بانست 70 سال نماز خواندن. 70 سال نماز بخوان، پولش 1 ساعت فکر کن، ارزش از اون داره. پس ما باید فکر کنیم. این عقلی که خدا برای بشر داده، مرد و زن فرق نمیکنه. این ما پروردگار میخواد که ما استفاده کنیم، فکر کنیم و به نتیجه برسیم. دوما فروره که ما میخوایم که چی عبادت ما انجام بدیم، اولادای ما انجام بده به ناز و نوازش. ما مولاد کلام کردیم اینجا، حالا ما ماشاءالله 2 تا دختر داریم از 23 و 25 سال هستن. الحمدلله بسیار راضی هستیم. بسیار سخت است با این محیط که کسی کلام کنه آدم که نمازخوان باشه، روزگیر باشه، با حجاب باشه. بسیار سخت است، بسیار سخته و معتقد باشه خودش بخواد یکی کار بکنه، نه به زور. این مسئولیت ما پدر مادرها را به نهایت مشکل ساخته، مگر راهش هست. و این دین ما که میگه فرور پالوش با ناز نوازش، نماز خواندن، روزه گرفتن، تمام فروره که ما به یاد بردیم. سوم ایست که ما سعی کنیم خواهر و برادرای عزیز، نماز خواندن آسان است. 5 دقیقه وقت میگیره، نه؟ 5 دقیقه وقت میگیره. اما چیزی که مشکل است ایست که ما شکرگزار باشیم. متوجه هستین؟ روزه گرفتن آسان است، اما معصیت کردن سخت است. معصیت نکردن سخت است، نه؟ روزه که میگیریم بر عزیز که خدا از تمام نگاه پاک کنیم، بخیر میایه 2 هفته بعد. I know all of you are waiting for the month of fasting. کلگی منتظر ماه مبارک هستیم. روزه گرفتن تا حد آسان است، اما سختیش است که ما اجتناب از گناه کنیم. زکات دادن و خمس تا حد آسان است که یک زکات بدیم، اما مشکل چیست؟ که یک کسی را ببخشیم از کوتاهیایی که کرده باشه، ما بگذاریم. برای بعضی دوستا به بعضی کمیتی ها میگه ما یک اعمال انجام میدیم، تمام we do all the اعمال کلش ما انجام میدیم، اما بین دوستا، بین فامیلا، بین یک کدورت هست که هیچ ما برای چی بگویم او هم خدا نمیخواه ببینه، او فلانی ما چون بیادر خدا نمیخواه. یک قدر گفتم خویی نیست. اینی مرحله بالاتر فروز که از فروع دین، از نماز و روزه و کلش بالاتر است. ایست که ما از صفات رذیله خدا آزاد بسازیم. صفات رذیله یعنی چی؟ صفات رذیله که فرضاً تکبر باشه، غیبت باشه، ترس هر چیز بجز ترس خدا باشه، از طمع باشه، فرضاً از منافقت باشه، از حب دنیا باشه. این چیزایی که زیاد سرش عرفای ما، علمای ما، آیت الله سیستانی، آیت الله خویی، اینا همه ایشون صحبت کردن. آیت الله مکارم شیرازی، اینا علمای بزرگ ما هستن که کلشون صحبت کردن سر ازی. و دیگه چی؟ و دیگه ای که صفات فضیله را ما کوشش کنیم ایجاد کنیم به خود و بیشتر بسازیم. صفات این فضیله چیست؟ courage، فرزن شجاعت، ببخشیم یکی دیگره. اشتباه میکنیم. من اینجا امروز چقدر اشتباه دارم، شما باید من رو ببخشیم، ما یکی دیگه رو ببخشیم، محبت داشته باشیم به هم دیگه، احترام داشته باشیم. اینا کلش صفات این فضیله است. فرزن مهربانی، خدا مهربان است. فرزن سخاوت، فرزن شکرگزار خدا باشیم. ما شکرگزار تمام نعمتهای خدا باشیم با وجودی که زیادتر میخوایم. فرزن راستگویی، فرزن عدالت طلبی. امروز چقدر ظلم میشه، به دنیا، به افغانستان، به عراق، به سوریه، به کشورهای دیگه، به همین خود آمریکا چقدر ظلم است. مردم سیاه را انتصال کنیم که سر از اینا 300 سال ظلم شده به این کشور. 300 سال ظلم شده. خب ظلم به همه جای است. ما چطور میتونیم که مرهم بذاریم به سر از این ظلم با لطف و محبت؟ دین ما دین عشق است، دین محبت است. فرزند پاک بودن، فرزند احترام، فرزند خلوص، اینا کلش صفات این فضیله است که از فرو بالاتر است. اخلاقیات بعضی میگن اون رفا بیشتر نمای بیتر میتن بش. و در آخر که می صحبت بود که عبادت یعنی چی؟ عبادت یعنی دعا. دعا چی؟ نیایش، یعنی خواستن از اویی که میتونه داده. خداوند است که میته همگی خوبی‌ها را به ما، همگی چیزی که ما داریم از سوی پروردگار است. درسته؟ ما از خدا بخوایم. ما اگه میخوایم که اولاد خوب تربیت کنم، زحمت خودم میکشم، کار خودم میکنم، نهایت یک سنتر اینجا میایم، این اولادا رو میارم، ماشاءاللهشان اینا رو کوشش میکنم باشم اینجا، برش هر کوشش از پول خود میگذارم، از وقت ما مینمتو کردیم برای خانه چوچه برای 20 سال زندگی کردیم با آپارتمان زندگی کردیم که باش اولادای ما به مکتب اسلامی مریلند بره. شاید بهترین مکتب دنیا نباشه، اما پیش ما گفتیم باش شاید به اونجا بعضی چیزا یاد بگیرن که به دیگه جای نمیتونن یاد بگیرن. استاد قرآنشون شیخ عبدالجلیل بود فرزند، همین بر ما کفایت بود. یعنی زحمت خودمون بکشیم، اما گارانتی نیست. مخصوصا به این عصر زمان به هر کشوری که باشیم، و هم به آمریکا، چقدر مشکلات است اینجا، مشکلات روحی. ما تا چی میکنیم؟ دعا میکنیم پیش خدا. حج میریم، کربلا میریم، اون زیارت ها میریم، اونجا دعا میکنیم پیش خدا، میگیم به حق این 14 معصومت اولاد من نجات بده خدا، چون وقتی که روز مرگم برسه تنها چیزی که باقی میمونه از من او پول و ثروت و خانه و دارایی نیست، اولاد صالح است. امروز من یک فرد افغان میشناسم میلیون ها دلار داره، یعنی 10 میلیون دلار داره، اما آمد به مغازه دوستم گریه میکرد، مردکه تقریبا 60 چند ساله گریه میکرد، آتش واری. این دوستم قصهش میکنه، میگه گریه میکنه، چرا گریه میکنی؟ تو تمام ثروت داری، این قصرایی که داری، این چقدر تو نداری، هیچ افغان به اندازه تو پول نداره. گفت من پول چی کنم؟ تمامش میتونم به این که اولادم برم یک روز سلام بده. میگه بدترین فاسدترین اولادم تربیت کردم من، چون ما اوشم در وضو نبود. اوشم این بود که $10 $20 شد، $1000 100,000 شد، 100,000 1 میلیون شد، 1 میلیون 10 میلیون شد، 10 میلیون 20 میلیون شد. من امروز 20 میلیون دلار دارم، اما اولاد صالح ندارم. ما چی کنم؟ من چی به دردم خورد این پول که اولادم امروز بدترین فاسدترین اولاد جامعه است. اینه طور شده. و این تنها این افغان ما نیست، کل کامیونیتی های این داستان داره، حتی مسیحی ها داره. مسیحی ها پشت خانه ما زنگ میزنه بیاین پیش جیزس. گفتم تو چرا نزن، ما هم اون مشکلاتی که شما داریم ما هم داریم. یهودا همین مشکلات داره، چون این جامعه به یک سمت دیگر رایست و حال دنیا به اون سمت رایست. حال دنیا یک ولد شده. پس دعا آخرین کلام دیگه به این انشالله. و چیزی که از امام زمان گفتیم باز انشالله درباره امام زمان مفصل صحبت میکنیم. ما عاشقان امام زمان هستیم، عاشقان اهل بیت هستیم. او امام هست که تمام بشر منتظرش است و اون انشالله خداوند ما را ببخشه و از طریق 14 معصوم و امام زمان ما را هدایت کنه. در صلوات انشاءالله.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
صلوات دور بلندتر کنید.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل
انبیا محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
برای خوشنودی آقا امام زمان اجماعاً صلوات. برای خوشنودی آقا امام زمان اجماعاً صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. یا رب بزرگی تو ای قادر ظلمان، یا رب شهیدان جدا گشت سرستان، که این مجلس ما را به حیات و دم مردن در کرب و بلا زودی منزل و مسکن، مختص دل یحیی که خریدار حسین است. کاش مهدی با جهان چهره ویدا میکرد، گریه از مشکل پیچیده ما وامی کرد. کاش می آمد و با آمدنش از رحم قبر مخفی شده فاطمه پیدا می کرد. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
در مشام جان عزیزان بوی جانان می رسد، نیستم آگاه که کی آن راحت جان می رسد. راستی را هر کی سازد پیش گردد رستگار، روضه رضوان برای رستگاران می رسد. گاه و بیگاه هر زمان باید که اندر جان حق خدمت نیکو کند تا دست انسان می رسد. توشه فردا کند حاصل ز قرآن مجید هر مسلمانی که دستش تا به قرآن می رسد. در مسلمانان بسی فرق است در بندگی، ای برادر هر مسلمان کی به سلمان می رسد. از برای انتظام قاف تا قاف جهان یک جوان از خاندان شاهی مردان می رسد. از ظهور او خدای پاک دارد آگهی، من نمی دانم که کیان شاه شاهان می رسد. بیشتر از خود بگورم برگ سبز بفرست، آخر ای سلطان علی عمرت به پایان می رسد. هر نفس از موتهیات و دعای بیشمار از دل و از جان برایت ای امام نامدار، رهنما و مقتدا و پیشوای ما تویی. آرزو داری مگر خود را نمایی آشکار، زودتر پای مبارک را بکنم در رکاب. از قدومت شاد و خرم ساز دلهای فگار، خاطر افسرده ما را ز غم آزاد کن تا کنیم در عیش و عشرت زندگی ای شهسواره. چشم ما هر وقت هر ناوقت در راه شماست، زود تشریف آور و بر چشم ما پایت گذاره جان خود را داد فدای شمع رخسارت کنیم دور تو گردش نماییم دم بدم پروانوار کاش مایان بینوایان را زنور مرحمت آوری از ورطه مهنت بیرون در یک کنار یک شبی در نیمه از شهر شعبان یک زمان در زمان پا نهادی ای زمامی نامدار بر محمد و محمد صلی
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
نیمه شعبان چنان شب باشد از شبهای سال می شود توزیع براتی رزق برخورد و کبار یا امام زمان بر ظهور خیش از بر خدا تعجیل کن تا کنیم در عیش و عشرت زندگی عیش سوار یا امام زمان گر بود هر جا کلیسا می شود آنجا خراب جای آن آخر مساجد گردد آباد و تیار بانگ اذان از مساجد هر طرف بالا شود بر تمام روی گیتی از همه کنج و کنار قاف تا قاف جهان یابد مسلمانی رواج آفرین بر قوت و بر شوکتت ای شهریار عاقبت اندر حقیقت دین ختم المرسلین روی دنیا را منور می کند خورشید باد گر به عزم رزم بربندی کمر در کارزار در تزلزل آید انگار روی دشت و کوسار هم هر دماندم گم نماید کافران راهی گریز راهشان مسدود باشد گر کند هر سو فرار گرچه از مور و ملخ کفار باشد بیشتر پیش شمشیرت ندارد تا وقتی گیردار یا امام زمان مهر تو در سینم از کودکیم کرده جان بر سرم باشد هوایت دایم ای والا تبار چهار سمت و شش جهت در تحت فرمانت بود بر وجود اطهرت باشد قیام روزگار یا امام زمان بخت اگر یاری کند بینیم جمالی انورت در رکابت از دل و از جان کنیم جان را نثار گر نبینم روی پاکت را بخوابم در لحد در قفا دارم نظر از وقت تا روز شمارم کس نداند از پس پرده که کیایی بیرون وقتی آن داند خدا باشد خدا آغاز کار هر زمان شو می بالد به خود سلطان علی از برای این که می باشد شما را دوست دار سال هجری 1378 بود و گردید این قصیده در نظمی بهار بارها گفت محمد که علی جان من است هم به جان علی و جان محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
ماشاءالله.
برای سلامتی آقا محمد و خانوادهشان بلند صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد و آل محمد.
Sit down, anybody here? Just wait.
Somewhere here. Come.
Maşallah. Salam aleyküm. صلوات برای همه بچه‌هامون انشاءالله که سلامت باشن. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد و عجل فرجهم. من عذر میخوام از دوستان که قسمت اول فقط به انگلیسی صحبت شد، یه مقدار وقتمون کمه، سعی میکنیم که تا حد امکان همه چی رو کاور بکنیم. اول صحبت میکردیم که 2-3 سال پیش ما برنامه داشتیم برای اینکه بتونیم 99 نفر که ماهی $30 به مسجد کمک میکنن رو داشته باشیم که بتونیم خرجای مسجد رو پرداخت بکنیم. و الان با یه مسائلی که پیش اومده متاسفانه 99 نفر ما اومده رسیده به 16 نفر. unfortunately. برای همین میخوایم این رو تبدیلش بکنیم، برعکس بکنیم. اگر ما بتونیم 30 نفر داشته باشیم که $99 هر کدوم بدن ماهی، همونقدر پول رو میتونیم برای مسجد جمع بکنیم و خرجای مسجد رو بتونیم پرداخت بکنیم انشاءالله. پس اونایی که الان لطف میکنن و اونایی که الان نیستن تو این جمع و میخوان این کارو بکنن، خواهش میکنم حتما در این مورد فکر بکنیم. اگر میتونین ماهی $99 30 نفر بشیم میتونیم مسجد رو سپورت بکنیم به بهترین وجه. پس خواهش میکنم راجعش فکر بکنیم. دیگه اینکه هر کمکی که به مسجد میکنیم به عنوان صدقه جاریه حساب میشه. یعنی فقط همون کاری که اون موقع میکنه نیست. برنامه این که برای مسجد ما الان میخوایم مسجد رو روفش رو عوض بکنیم. خیلی چیزای مسجد، این ساختمان قدیمی هست الحمدلله که ما اینجا رو داریم، ولی همین ساختمان قدیمی خرج داره، مشکل داره. بزرگترین مشکلمون الان روف هست. باید این روف رو ریپلیسش بکنیم. برای اینکه بتونیم این کار بکنیم احتیاج به کمک همه دوستان کامیونیتی داریم. در نتیجه اگر میتونیم خواهش میکنم کمک بکنیم و این در اثر زمان هر چه که توی این مسجد عبادت بشه، از این مسجد به عنوان کارهای خیر استفاده بشه، همش به حساب شما میره. این صدقه جاریه است، این چیزی نیست که فقط الان باشه تموم بشه بره. پس هر کاری برای اینجا میکنیم برای خودتون و آینده و انشاءالله عاقبت خیری خودتون میکنیم. در مورد ماه رمضان میخواستم خدمتون عرض بکنم. ماه رمضان ما برنامه داریم، برنامه سخنرانی داریم برای ویکندها، Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, on the special days. We would have speakers for Ramadan, but during the weekdays we would have regular programs with Doi Iftitah most of the days. So we'll see how it goes. If community members can come, we will have it extended for better programs. But most of the time during the weekdays, people can't make it. در ماه رمضان انشاءالله میخوایم که دوستان عزیزم خیلی عذر میخوام. I'm so sorry. I have to say this because if we go with your schedule and we are finished, everybody is going to go downstairs, and then we can't have any support. So if you help me finish this, we are going to get to your prizes soon. Okay? So برای Booty prizes?
Yeah.
You think so? No way. No. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So I go back to Ramadan program that we do have weekdays and we have weekends. There are certain amount that we can sponsor the days, any day of the ماه رمضان. هر روزی از ماه رمضان رو که بخوایم اسپانسر بکنیم. الان فعلا باز هست، بیشترش یک جدولی پایین هست خدمتون. اگر لطف بفرمایید بهش نگاه بکنید. هر روزی رو که قدرت دارین، مایل هستین، اسمتون رو بذارید و ما بدونیم که چه کسانی میتونن کمک بکنن. انشاءالله با امید خدا رمضان خیلی خوبی داشته باشیم. If you can help, there is a worksheet available downstairs that for any day of the month of Ramadan you can sponsor either the masjid expenses. There are two expenses for masjid. One is for the masjid. We have overhead expenses such as providing iftar and the basic elements of iftar, such as dates, such as bread, such as cheese, things like that would be basic iftar. And then there is the food for the days of Ramadan. For the food part, there is expense, and then there is expense for the sponsoring the masjid. Usually there are the same amount. For example, for weekdays, we have $350 for the sponsorship and $350 for the food. And then we need people to cook for us. Okay, the $350 is just raw material. Then we need people who could volunteer and help cooking. For the special days and weekends, we have $500 for sponsorship and $500 for food. Also, we need sponsorship for cooking food. Now, if we do not have sponsors, if we do not have enough funds to get the masjid going, we won't have programs here. We just can't do that. So if you could please make sure you can not just if you can get 5 people together for any nights of the Ramadan for $500, please do so. So we just need to get this place going as our home. We need to have this place warm and show that we believe in what we say. The English brothers and sisters say, put your money where your mouth is, right? So we want to do exactly what we say. We say we love God. How do we love God? We help everybody get together here and be happy, and when they go home, have lots of good memories and feel good about being here. So I won't take your time anymore, and these children have been very patient. Thank you so much. Let's say a salawat for all of you. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
What did you guys do downstairs? Do you have your work with you? So maybe you want to cite something, maybe, right?
What's up? Are you ready? What's up?
There. Good job. Great job. You want to say something about that?
No. Like one by one. No. Is that okay? No. Do you have Yusuf? Do you have
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ja'alhu.
Muhammad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ja'alhu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ja'alhu.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس.
اللهم صل على محمد.
You want to say a salawat? Salawat dulu dulu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Salawat dulu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
اللهم صل على محمد.
اللهم
Salli ala
محمد وآل محمد. He wants to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. يلا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله رب العالمين. Okay, no problem. Okay, it's okay. Next time. Loud.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله رب العالمين. Let's say salawat. You want to say salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل
موسى
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل؟ ألم يجعل كيدهم في تدبير وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
Allahumma دم بدم بر همه دم بر گل رخسار محمد صلوات.
اگر بچه های یه ذره بزرگتر دوست دارن عیدی نیمه شبان بگیرن $1 لای قرآن اینجا هست، تشریف بیارین نگیرین عیدیتون. هر کسی که میخواد تشریف بیاره عیدی بگیرین. بچه های بزرگ
بچه های بزرگ
So whoever wants Eid, because it's the day of birthday of Imam Zaman alayhi salam, so they can have their Eid from Faram Lali. For everyone. For everyone. Eid. $1 Eid for everyone. For others, not for kids. Maybe your mom. May ask your mom so that you can have 80 from her.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك وعلى ابن عمك أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام على فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام على الحسن المجتبى. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام على الحسين الشهيد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام على علي بن الحسين. السلام على محمد بن علي الباقر. السلام على جعفر بن محمد الصادق. السلام على موسى بن جعفر الكاظم. السلام على علي بن موسى الرضا. السلام على محمد بن علي الجواد. السلام على علي بن محمد الهادي. السلام على الحسن بن علي العسكري. السلام على الخلف الحجة القائم المنتظر المهدي. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا المستغيثين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Sorry, brothers and sisters, I know it's kind of late, but let's head downstairs for dinner.
He wants me to play this thing. No, he
You are my good friends, right? Yes. You are the most